Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about one of the most important parts of your iPhone, and that's the battery. Battery life on iPhones are of course very important, and even when we buy a new iPhone, we always take a look at the battery and see how much it will keep up, and of course if that will last long for us enough to go through the day. But there are of course a lot of battery drainers on your iPhone, things that will actually drain the battery a lot, and those of course will have a huge impact on our day while using our iPhone. So in this video I will show you guys the 5 worst battery drainers that you have on your iPhone, and of course alongside that how to fix them and how to actually make them use less battery on your device. Now before we get into that, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button of this video. That will help out a lot, and of course will help this video and this channel do a lot better, so make sure you don't leave the video without leaving a like. On our iPhones, there are a lot of things that will actually drain the battery, but most of them, like leaving apps open in the background or background app refresh, won't actually have that much of an impact, as iOS will actually manage those in the background, but there are some things that we can do that will actually have a huge impact on battery life. The first of them is the brightness of the screen. The brighter the screen is, of course, the more battery your iPhone will use, and the battery will drain actually really quick. One big mistake that I see a lot of people do is leaving off auto brightness on their iPhone. That will kill the battery of your iPhone very fast, because when you're on a dark environment, having the brightness up all the time, that is of course really bad. Now what you need to do is go under settings, go under accessibility, and always make sure that you go to display and text size right there. Make sure that you have auto brightness turned on. Now auto brightness is an amazing feature that will basically adjust the screen's brightness based on the needs and based on ambient light, and always will try to basically keep the brightness low so the iPhone's battery will last way longer. So this is one of the biggest battery drainers on your iPhone. So if you keep this off, of course I keep it off while I'm shooting a video because of the lights here, so if you keep it off, always make sure that you go ahead and turn it on and have it on all the time. That will be much better for the battery of your iPhone. The second thing that will use a ton of battery on your iPhone is actually cellular coverage, and that's when the cellular coverage is bad. If you're on any area that you know that there's bad cellular coverage, make sure you turn on airplane mode. That will of course turn off your cellular coverage, but it will also save a ton of battery on your iPhone. Let's say you're somewhere, maybe hiking or somewhere, you keep your cellular on, that will drain the battery of your iPhone. If you notice the bars right here, you have 5 bars there for the cellular coverage. If you notice the signal dropping, then that is actually a sign that on that place there's bad cellular coverage, and your iPhone trying to connect all the time, moving from like different stations, that will just kill the battery of your iPhone. So if you're on a place, on an environment where you know the cellular coverage is bad, make sure that you keep on airplane mode for most of the time. Now one of the biggest factors when it comes to battery life are notifications. On our iPhones we have of course a ton of apps. All of them will offer to send you notifications. Now when you install a new app, of course you're excited to use the app. You will get the pop-ups once you get into the app. You might just allow notifications for all the apps and not basically worry about it, but that will actually drain the battery of your iPhone. Now if you're not on iOS 15, I think you should update because it has an amazing notifications feature. So when you go to notifications now with iOS 15, you can schedule a summary. Now what the summary does, it will basically send you notifications at a certain time of the day. So here I have a few apps, and it shows basically how many notifications I get from each app on average a day. I can go ahead and turn this on, and I will place now Instagram to the scheduled summary. So if you have like apps that you maybe post a lot, if you post on Instagram like maybe once or twice or even more a day, you will probably get a ton of notifications. They will drain the battery out of your iPhone. But if you enable this, you will get all the notifications at one time. So at any time that you set right here. So you can get like as many summaries as you want, but I suggest you maybe use 2 or even 3, and at that time you get all the notifications and not have notifications coming in all the time. Another amazing feature is right here. You can see on Instagram, I have turned on scheduled summary. So I don't get notifications from Instagram, I just get them at the set time. But what you can do on iOS 15 is go to an app like Instagram, for example. If I have scheduled right here enabled, I can enable direct messaging. So basically this will send me the notifications immediately when I get a direct message, but all the other notifications for likes and comments and stuff like that will just come on a scheduled summary, and that's an amazing feature. Also, make sure that you go ahead and check this list right here. You will probably find a ton of apps from which you don't actually need notifications. Go ahead, go to them, like iTunes Store right here. I don't actually need these notifications. Turn them off right there, and I don't have to worry about this app's notifications draining the battery out of my iPhone. Of course, the most important part of our iPhone are apps. We do everything through apps. So what you need to do is go under battery, under settings right here. There are a lot of apps that are maybe like poorly built or something like that, and they will drain a lot of battery out of your iPhone. Now, there are apps that are maybe not replaceable, like Snapchat, for example, that uses a lot of battery, but you won't have another app to replace it, so you will have to live with it. You can maybe turn off the notification or something like that for that app, and that might help a bit. But if you have apps that you see right here and they're using a ton of battery, make sure you delete them from your device and just install apps that are like an alternative to that app, maybe like a photo editing app, like a music app. You will have a ton of those on App Store, so make sure you install another app that does the same thing, but that might use less battery, because of course they're built much better. Now when you go here under the battery, you see a list of apps. They show right here how much battery they use on your device. So you can see the percentages right here. This is for the last 24 hours. You can go to last 10 days right there. But what you do is tap on show activity and see how much you have used those apps. Now, if you see an app right here, so let's say I have Facebook and Instagram at the top, they use a ton of battery. That's because I use them a lot. That doesn't mean it's bad, but I use them a lot. But if you see an app that you have actually used not that much, but it has consumed a ton of battery, then make sure that you go ahead and remove that app and just find another app to replace it from the App Store. And last but not least, probably the biggest battery drainer on your iPhone, location services. I don't think anyone should keep location services turned on their iPhone. Just turn them on when you need them, because leaving them on all the time and having a ton of apps enabled will actually drain a ton of battery out of your iPhone. What you need to do, go under privacy, and you will have quite a lot of settings here to configure. Go to location services, and of course if you have them on, then you will have a list of apps right here. Now my suggestion is that just turn it off completely. Turn it off when you need it. You need like for maps or maybe to post something, anything you want, you go ahead, turn it on. You can even do that by using Siri. Just say to Siri to turn it on, and you don't have to go through the settings app at all. But if you have here like a ton of different apps that are using your location and you keep location services on, that will just drain the battery. So make sure you go ahead and choose the apps right here and choose which of those apps will have access to your location. You go to one of the apps and just make sure you keep it on never, or maybe even while using the app, so you don't have to actually have this app using the location all the time. Now, another really important thing here under location is actually the location that is used by services. And system services can be found right here at the apps list. You just go to the bottom of it and you will find system services. Now, these are services that are on your iPhone. These are not apps. They will also use your location, but there are things here that you probably don't need, like system customization. You have here setting time zone. You will have motion calibration and distance. You have like maybe HomeKit or device management, compass calibration. You don't need that. Now what you need to do here is make sure that you always have turned on Find My iPhone and also emergency calls and SOS. Those should be on all the time. The other ones you can just turn them off. And then right here you will also have iPhone analytics. You will have improved maps. Just turn them off. And then right here we'll also have this option to turn on status bar icon. That means that if you enable this, you will see the icon on the status bar when the system services are using your location. Now normally you will see this if you keep this off. You will see this button right there at the status bar just when apps are using your location. But by turning this on, you will also know when the system services are using the location of your device. So that is it for this video, guys. These are the top 5 worst iPhone battery drainers. Make sure you go ahead and check your device, and make sure you always keep this in mind to have better battery life on your iPhone running on iOS 14 or 15. Again, if you're on iOS 14, I suggest you update to iOS 15 because of the new notification options. You will save a ton of battery on your device. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you on the next video.